Hello Gaudi class and welcome to today's maths lesson. Yesterday we were looking at tally charts and today we're going to look at how you turn those into pictograms. And a pictogram is exactly what it says it is. It's a picture. So let's just recap very quickly. Which of these tally charts is correct? Do you think it's this one over here or this one over here? It is this one over here because Bella has 6, 5, 6. Isla has 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And Theo has 10, 5, 10. In this one here, Bella and Theo are the wrong way around. Now, in the link below, there's a video for you to watch, which tells you about pictograms. So you can pause this video here, go and watch that one and then come back, or you can watch this one at the end. I am going to explain to you what a pictogram is, but this one does it better, probably. So it helps us to be able to see our data much more clearly. So here is our tally chart. So we've got birds, alpacas, dogs and horses, those are types of animals. And we've got our tally. We've got 5, 10 here, we've got 1, 2 here, and we've got 5, 6 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4 here. You can see we've got our totals. And now we're going to turn that into a pictogram. So what we're going to do is we are going to draw one circle for every animal. It doesn't have to be a circle. It could be an animal head. I'm not going to draw animal heads. It could be a square. It could be a triangle. It's anything. It's a picture that represents one animal. So for birds, we're going to need to draw 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For the alpacas, we've got 2. For the dogs, we've got 6, and for the horses, we've got 4. Now, one of the things we've got to do when we draw a pictogram is make sure that our pictures line up. So you can see these are all on top of each other, and these are all on top of each other. We don't want to squash them together or make them different sizes or spread them out. We need to make sure that they line up, because that makes it very easy for us to read the pictogram, because I could say to you, which animal did we see the most of? And you can straight away see that birds has got the biggest amount. So you can say, oh, we saw the most birds. I could say to you, how many more dogs did we see than horses? And because they're lined up, you'd look at where dogs and horses meet at the end, and all you have to do is count on the extra bits that dogs have that horses don't. So if I said to you, how many more dogs than horses were there? You find that bit and then you just say 1, 2. You don't have to do 6, take away 4. You just use your pictogram to help you. Yeah. So in this pictogram, they haven't, Amir hasn't used circles, he's used triangles. So it doesn't matter what the object is, it's exactly the same. There are still 10, you can still see there are more birds. You can still see that if you line up the dogs and the horses, you've got 2 more dogs than you had horses. So it isn't a matter of what you use, what picture you use. It's a matter of making sure that they're neat and they line up with each other. And we always have a key so that somebody looking at it can see that, oh yes, so every triangle is one animal. So I know I have to count in ones. That isn't always the case. Sometimes the key isn't 1. Sometimes the key might be 2 or 5. It depends. That's why it's really important. But for the moment, we're just looking at 1. So here we've got some vehicles: car, bike, lorry, bus, motorbike. And we have got the number of vehicles as a tally chart. So what we're going to do is we are going to turn that into a pictogram. But before we do that, we are just going to put in our totals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this bit out of the way. And I'm going to add another column. And I'm just going to put total, because I need to see how many I've got. So I'm going to count up my tally. That's a nice easy one. I have 5. And I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I've got 2 here at the end. So now I'm going to make my pictogram, and I can see from my key that I'm going to use 1 heart for every vehicle. So for cars, how many hearts do I need? I need 5. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm pleased these are already there for me because I'm really bad at drawing hearts. Okay, for my bike, I need 3, and I'm going to be really careful and make sure I line them up underneath. So I'm just going to make sure that they are all neatly underneath. So I can already see that I've got more cars than bikes, and I've actually got 2 more cars because that's how many spaces I've got here. Lorries, I need 2. Again, making sure I line them up from the beginning. It's really important. It's not just lining them up. I need to make sure they're lined up under the right ones. I can't just line them up under the end ones. I have to start them all from the beginning. Bus, I need 4. 1, 2, 3. This one's harder to line up because I haven't got anything above it to line it up with. So I'm going to have to make sure that. There we go. And motorbike, I need 2. 1, 2. So I could say to you, which one has the most? And again, you'd be able to see just by looking that cars goes out furthest. Which one has the fewest? Now that's more of a tricky one because I can see that both lorries and motorbikes have the same amount. And we looked at how many more cars than bikes we've had. So let's try another one. I wonder if you could pause the video and see if you can draw your own pictogram very quickly. So remember to just line up the stars. Okay, so, and then when you're ready, come back to me. So we have got cats, pets, we've got cats, dogs, goldfish, and rabbits. And let's just have, again, I'm just going to write in my totals because I like to know. That makes my life much easier when I'm drawing my tally chart. Well, sorry, when I'm drawing my pictogram. So I'm going to write in my totals. And I have 5. I love tallies because you can count them easily. So I've got 5 and 1 more 6. And here I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And here I've got 5, 10. That's a lot of stars for me to put on the thing on the screen. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I'll show you the first one and then I'm going to pause it and do the rest of them so you don't have to watch me. It's a lot of watching. So I have got 5 cats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so see if you can finish off the pictogram whilst I do. I hope that your pictogram looks something like mine. So I have 5 stars here, 6 here, 9 here, and 10 here. And again, I can say to you, which pet is the most common? And you can see straight away, a rabbit has the most. Which pet is the least favourite? And again, you can see the one that's got the smallest number is cat. I could ask you, how many more dogs than cats are there? And you can see if you line up dog and cat, there's just 1 more dog. So now it's your turn. So here we have some very cute looking animals in the zoo. I think I'd be very scared if I saw animals like that in a zoo. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to just draw the pictogram. So we've started it here. It says animal and pictogram. So you have just got to count how many you've got. So if you count the number of lines you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you would need to draw 6 hearts in there. I told you I'm not very good at drawing hearts. Oops. And then elephants, we've got 4. And again, make sure you line them up really carefully underneath the ones from before. And then the giraffes. So count how many giraffes you've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and make sure you put those underneath. So just fill in the pictogram. That's all you've got to do for challenge 1. Challenge 2, you have got a tally and you've got to make a pictogram and you've just got circles. If you want to change the picture, you are welcome to do so. The first thing you're going to need to do though, again, if you want to, don't have to, it just makes life a little bit easier, is to find your totals. So count up your tallies, write in your totals, and then change that into a pictogram. So you can make sure that you put in your key. Key is really important. So all I want to see is your pictogram. I don't need to see your tally chart. And challenge 3, okay, you have got no pictures to start with. You have got to do this all for yourself. So there are some flowers in the garden. There are 4 sunflowers. There is 1 less daffodil than there are sunflowers. So you've got to work out how many daffodils there are. It doesn't say there's 1 daffodil. It says there's 1 less. It should be 1 fewer, but that's just that just annoys me. There are twice as many daisies as daffodils. So when you've worked out how many daffodils there's twice as many daisies. So that's double. There's the same number of tulips as daffodils. So when you've worked out your daffodils, you can know how many tulips there are as well. And you have got to draw a pictogram. And then if you count up all the pictures on your pictogram, and you could use flowers, you could use stars, you can use circles, whatever you want. If you add them all up, you'll find out how many there are in total. If you do use flowers, you can't use sunflowers, daffodils, daisies, and tulips. They all have to be the same picture. So you're just using 1 picture for your whole pictogram, and please remember your key. And then the extension is, here's a pictogram showing the number of counters each child has. What is wrong with it? And hopefully, if you've been listening to me ranting and raving throughout this lesson about what you must do on a pictogram, you'll have no problem whatsoever answering that question. And I will see you for our next lesson.